call him again?
I called him twice, they're looking for him. How is he?
I'm not sure. He's bleeding like crazy.
Oh my God!
If he doesn't call in 2 minutes, call the hospital.
Ken, I've got to have a cigarette!
After 18 months, the hell you are? Hold on to yourself, will you?
Oh, Ken, I can't believe this is happening! Ken, the phone is ringing! Hello? Dr. Dudley? Oh, thank God it's you, Dr. Dudley. Your service said you were at the theatre.
Is that the doctor?
I am Chris Gorman. My husband Ken and I are good friend of Charlie Brooks.
Is that the doctor?
I wouldn't have bothered you, but I believe this is an emergency.
Is that the doctor?
The doctor is the doctor.
Why didn't you say so?
I believe there's been an accident. I would have called Charlie's own physician, but my husband is a lawyer, and under the circumstances, he thought it's best to call Charlie's own physician. So please, Ken and I arrived at Charlie's house about 10 minutes ago, and as we were getting out of our car, we heard this enormous...
Don't say anything!
What?
Don't tell him what happened.
Don't tell him.
Just do what I say.
But what about Charlie?
It's nothing. It's just a powder burn. I don't want him to know about the gunshot.
But they got the doctor out of the Phantom of the Opera.
Tell him he tripped down the stairs and banged his head.
But what about the blood?
The bullet went through his earlobe. It's nothing. I don't want him to know.
But I've already told the doctor that as we were getting out of our car, we heard this enormous... What? What did we hear?
We heard a thud as we tripped down the stairs.
Thud?
Thud.
Good. That's good. Hello, doctor. Sorry, I was speaking to my husband. What I was saying was, while we were getting out of our car, we heard this enormous thud. Charlie tripped going up the stairs.
Down the stairs.
Down the stairs.
He's sitting up in bed. He'll call him in the morning.
He's sitting up in the bed. He'll call him in the morning.
You!
He'll call you in the morning.
You're very sorry to disturb him.
I'm very sorry I disturbed you.
But he's really fine.
But he's really fine.
Thank you, goodbye.
Where are you going now?
Thank him and say goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye. What? Any dizziness?
No dizziness.
No dizziness. What? Hey, can he move his limbs?
Yes, he can move everything. Get off the phone.
They got the doctor out of the Phantom of the Opera. Yes, doctor. He can move everything. What? Any slurring of the speech?
No slurring of the speech.
Don't tell me. He will hear it.
Can't get back to Charlie.
No slurring of the speech. What? Any ringing in the ears?
No ringing in the ears.
Yes, doctor. A little ringing in the
I
ears.
told you to say no.
It sounds more believable to have ringing. Yes.
Jesus.
What? His wife Myra? Yes, she's here.
She is not here. Don't tell him she's here. He'll want to speak to her.
Sorry, doctor. Myra is not here. I thought she was, but she wasn't.
She is out. She'll be back in a minute.
She's back. She will be out in a minute. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Dudley. Dr. Dudley. Oh, okay, sorry to disturb you. Yes, surely I'll ask her to call you. Okay, doctor. Okay, enjoy your show. Ken and I watched it. We loved it. Especially the second act. Who's playing the Phantom tonight?
Are you going to review the whole goddamn show? Keep the phone.
Okay, doctor. I'll have to go. Charlie's calling me. Just a moment, Charlie. Oh, he sounds a lot better now. Surely I'll ask him to call. Okay, doctor. Thank you. Don't you ever do that to me again. He must suspect something. I didn't get his name right once.
If anyone calls again, don't answer it.
Then why did you ask me to answer that one?
Because I thought the bullet went through his head, not his earlobe. Okay, now fix me a double vodka. I left Charlie standing in the shower.
If he drowns, you are making that call. I don't know why we are always the first ones to arrive. Never came late once in our lives. Somebody else could have done without it. Oh shit!
Who's that?
Am I near the door? Do you see people around here? Am I on roller skates?
Wait, let me think a minute.
Okay, take your time. Because I don't answer doors. I only speak to Dr. Dudley.
Yeah, it must be Lenny or Ronnie or one of the others. We've got to open the door.
You have got arms. Reach down.
I've got to dry Charlie off and bandage his ears. Can't you stall them?
His best friends are coming for his 10th anniversary. His wife isn't here. He shoots himself through his earlobes. And I am supposed to make small talk when they come in.
Attempted suicide is a criminal offense. Not to mention a pretty ugly scandal. Play the hostage for some time till I come down.
Play the hostage? There's no food. There's no
something?
Contracts, darling. I call legal publishing contracts. If somebody walks in through the door and wants to make a deal, I can handle that.
Take it easy then. Wait, I'll be right back.
Put some sleepers on Charlie and ask him to answer the door.
Drink my vodka now.
Why is vodka better than 2 puffs of a cigarette?
Because they know you quit smoking. And if they see smoking here, they know something is wrong.
Oh, you mean falling at the feet will make it look better? Claire, darling, you look beautiful. Where's Lenny? In the car. He had an accident. Brand new BMW, just 2 days old, and the side door is smashed in. Oh, please don't tell Charlie and Myra. I don't want to go in tonight for that. Oh, I'm so sorry, dear. Are you hurt? My lip is swelling up. Jesus, I look like a trumpet player. Oh, where's Lenny? Oh, he's coming. He's walking slowly. He's got whiplash. The seat belt went right round his neck and pulled him straight down. I left him dangling. I'm so sorry to hear that, sweetheart. Is there anything I can do? Just don't tell Myra. This party means so much to her.
Hi Charlie, hi Myra, we are here kids.
They're upstairs, Lenny.
Did she tell you what happened? Some stupid bastard shoots out of his garage like a bloody rocket. I've got all 4 doors on one side of the car now.
How's your neck?
Stretched out over to one side. I could use a drink. But I don't think I could swallow past my shoulders.
All nice to happen.
Here's their gift. Painted glass. If someone gets them a bottle of glue, they'll have a nice gift.
I could have lost the tip of my tongue. I'd be speaking English the rest of my life.
A brand new spotless car, never touched by human hands, buffed and polished by German women in Munich. And now it looks like a war memorial. Hello, this is Leonard Gans. Is Dr. Dudley there?
Dr. Dudley!
Yes, it is. I have a little whiplash. Oh, is it? Do you know what theater is it?
Oh, I need a cigarette so badly now.
Oh, could you? It's important. I am at 914-473-2261. Thank you very much.
I need to settle my stomach. Is there anything to eat? Some canapes or something? Well, I don't see anything. No canapes? Where's the cook Miley? She makes great canapes. I think she's off this week. The week of their anniversary party. She went to Japan. Her mother was sick. Miley is Chinese. I know. Her mother was visiting Japan.
I can only look up. I hope tall people are coming to this party. Where is Ken?
He went to the bathroom.
Where's Charlie and Myra?
They're getting dressed.
They're not ready? We had a car accident and still we are on time.
My lip is getting gigantic. I don't think I have enough lipstick to cover it.
There's no nuts, no pretzels. I didn't even have lunch today. 3 goddamn audits with the IRS on an empty stomach. Claire, get me a Diet Coke and something to munch on.
Where are you going?
I have to go to the loo. I haven't had a chance to do that.
There is a guest powder room down here.
Isn't Ken using that?
No, Ken is using the one upstairs.
Why didn't you use this one?
Because he said he had to go badly and he started to run.
But if he had to go so bad, the one downstairs is closer.
Yes, I know. But you know how these things happen. Once you start running, you don't want to stop.
But this is a shorter run.
Hey, this is not Olympic event. Why don't you just go?
I'm just saying, that's why they build guest bathrooms, you know. If Dr. Dudley calls, I'll be right out.
Claire, we need to talk. What is it, Chris? Oh, I'm coming apart at the seams. Your dress? No, my nerves. Oh, I think I'm going to crack. Your hands are as cold as ice. There's something going on here, isn't it? Oh, Claire, you were so intelligent. You were so quick at understanding things. You're scaring me, Chris. Tell me, what happened? All right. You know, when Ken and I, we were getting out of our car, we heard this enormous...
Hey, Claire, you look lovely.
Yes, I was telling her, she looks enormously lovely. Isn't that dress you were wearing for cerebral palsy? No, I got this for sickle cell. Hi, Ken.
Where's Lenny?
He's in the loo. Where's Charlie and Myra? Still getting dressed.
Oh, yes, still getting impressed. How's the new BMW? Is Len happy with it?
Delirious.
Did he get all the features he asked for?
Oh, more than he asked for.
Oh, great.
Okay, are you through with the bathroom? I have to go myself.
Oh, no, Myra's in there.
Okay, I'll use Miley's bathroom. Tell me if she gets back from Japan.
Shh, hurry up. Quick. Hurry up. What did you tell her?
Oh, I can't remember.
You can't remember?
Oh, I can't follow anything. I was speaking so fast. Ken, why can't we tell them the truth? They're going to find out anyways.
I don't know the truth yet. Charlie's still mumbling something. Now go inside. He wants to see you.
See me? Why does he want to see me?
Oh, I think he needs a woman real bad now.
What?
Do cry on. I can reason with him, but I can't comfort him. Go give your shoulders for 2 minutes.
Oh, I hope he's not bleeding still. I paid $1,200 for this dress.
Oh, Jesus. Hi, Len.
Hi, Ken. Did you hear about the BMW?
Oh, yeah, congratulations.
Where are you going?
To the loo.
Didn't you just go?
But not quite enough.
This is very weird.
Oh, there are nice chips.
There's plenty of food in the kitchen, but nothing's cooked.
Why don't you open this?
There's a duck, roast ham, smoked turkey, all defrosting on the table. There's pasta sitting in the pot with no water. Everything is ready to go, but no one's there to start it. Doesn't that seem strange to you?
Oh, not as strange as seeing Ken pee twice in a row. Do you have something sharp? A nail file or something?
Chris started to tell me something and then she clammed up.
The door on my BMW opened like tissue paper, but this thing is like steel.
She couldn't even look me straight in the eye.
Damn it, this would be a safe place to keep your jewelry.
And why are they taking so long to get dressed? What is that about, huh?
What are you so goddamn suspicious for? Give the people a chance to come down.
You don't notice that anything is wrong?
Yes, I noticed. I noticed that the towels in the bathroom were piled up on the sink and not on the rack. I also noticed there's only 1.5 sheet left of toilet paper. I think it's sloppy. It's not a scandal.
Well, I'm not so sure that I'd rule out a scandal.
Ha! You think I don't know what's going on? I hear gossip. I hear rumors. And I don't listen to that crap, you understand? He's my friend. She's the wife of my friend.
Okay, fine, forget it then.
I don't listen to filth and garbage about my friends.
I said forget it.
All right, come here.
Why? What's wrong with here?
They can hear us there. Here is better. Come here. It's not good.
What's not good?
What I heard.
What did you hear?
Will you lower your voice?
Why? We haven't said anything yet.
All right, all right. There's talk going around about my right. It hurts. Stand on my other side. I can't turn. There's talk going around about Charlie and Myra. Only no one will tell it to my face because they know I won't listen.
Tell it to my face, I'll listen.
Why do you want to listen to such things about our best friends? He's my best client. He trusts me. Not only about investments and taxes, but personal things too.
I don't do his taxes. Tell me, what's the rumors?
Jesus, you won't be satisfied until you hear it from me, will you?
Well, I won't be even sleeping with you until I hear. What's the rumors?
All right. Your friend Myra upstairs is having a little thing, okay?
What kind of thing?
Do I have to spell it out? A thing, a man, a guy, a fella. An affair. She is doing something with someone on the sly somewhere, and it's not with Charlie.
You don't know that. You only heard it. You haven't seen it.
Seen it? Of course I haven't seen it. You think they'll call me and invite me to come along? What's wrong?
Really? So nice. Incredible. Myra is not having anything with anybody. Your friend Charlie always running up from hell of a hotel bill.
Charlie. My friend Charlie. No way, not a chance. He wouldn't even look at another woman.
Well, he may not be looking at her, but he's screwing her.
You know your voice. Where did you hear this?
Someone at a club told me.
Our tennis club?
Oh, what is it? A sacred temple people gossip at.
Christ. Bunch of hypocrites, I tell you. Sit around in their brand new Nikes and Reeboks and destroying people's lives. Who told you this?
I'm not going to tell you because you don't like this person.
What is the difference if I like the person or not? Who told you?
Carol Newman.
Carol Newman! Carol Newman! I knew it! I knew it! I hate that goddamn woman. She's got a mouth big enough to swallow a can of tennis balls.
Hey, you two, Had anything to eat yet?
Or just a plastic bag.
Great, be right back.
Wasn't it Carol Newman who started the other rumor?
What other
The
rumor?
rumor that you and I were breaking up.
No, it wasn't Carol Newman.
Was it? Then who was it?
It was me.
You! You started a rumor about us!
It was me, you, the both of us, when we were thinking of separating, didn't we go around telling everyone?
He told friends, that bitch told strangers.
Do not call Carol Newman a bitch to my face. Besides, she didn't start a rumor about Charlie. Someone else at the club told her.
What someone else?
Harold Green.
Harold Green. Who the hell is this Harold Green now?
Oh, he's a new member. He was voted in last week.
I never voted for it.
Yes, you did. By proxy. We were in Bermuda.
I don't believe this. A goddamn new proxy member comes to the club and starts spreading rumors about my best friend. Who does he play tennis with?
He doesn't play tennis. He's a social member. He just eats lunches there.
You mean this son of a bitch is a goddamn new proxy member who comes to a tennis club, doesn't play tennis, eats lunches and spreads rumors? What does he do for a living?
He sells BMWs.
Did anyone else get here?
Not to speak of no.
Ken, is anything wrong?
Why? Does something seem wrong to you?
Oh, you mean aside from the fact that there's no food, no host, no hostess, that you and Chris only appear one at a time and never together, I'd say something is wrong.
All right. We've got a big problem on our hands.
Aha, what did I just say?
You said, aha. What does it mean?
Charlie's been shot.
What? Shot?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ!
This is not
I
happening.
can't take a breath.
Oh my god. It's not
Charlie! No, Charlie!
Take it
No,
easy.
no!
He's not dead. He's all right.
He's not dead.
He's alive. He's okay.
God, he's alive.
Where was he shot?
In the head.
In the head. Oh my god, he was shot in the head. Oh,
It's all right. It's nothing. It's a superficial wound
Then went into bullet wound.
through his left earlobe.
the earlobe. That's not too bad. I have holes in my earlobe.
I want to go
I saw this coming. I swear. The truth, Ken. Did she do it?
Who?
Myra, for Christ's sakes, who else would it be?
Why would Myra shoot Charlie?
You don't know what's going on.
You haven't heard?
What's going on? No.
Well, Charlie is having a hot affair with someone.
It's not hot. You don't know if it's hot. Nobody said it's hot. It's an affair. It's a plain affair.
Who told you this?
Nobody told me that. What I heard was Myra was having a little thing.
A little thing with who?
A man, a guy, a fella, who knows?
Someone else told me that it was Charlie who was having the affair.
What? Someone else?
Or some bitch named Carol Newman.
Carol Newman is not a bitch. Besides, she only told me what Harold Green told me.
Who was Harold Green?
Or some freaking goddamn new proxy member at our club. Forget it.
Well, it seems to me that Charlie is the one who's having the affair and Myra was hysterical enough to shoot him.
Listen to me, will you please? Myra did not shoot Charlie. Charlie fired the gun. Maybe it was attempted suicide.
Suicide!
Oh God!
Oh God!
Let us not-
No, Charlie! No, Charlie! No, no, no!
Whoa. Take it easy. That's enough of grieving. I told you he's all right.
This is all because of the no good idiot Harold Green. He's out of the club. I can get the votes.
Can we stick to the main topic here, please? Nobody knows if anybody had an affair. I don't know why Charlie shot himself.
How is Myra taking this? My God, she must be a mess.
Yes, I should go up to Myra. Let me go see.
Don't go up there.
Why?
She's not there. She's gone.
She's gone? Charlie shoots himself in the head and Myra leaves the house.
She walks out on him now. Now that he's laying up there with a bullet in his ear.
The bullet didn't go in his ear. It went through his ears. Will you both listen to me, please?
Fine.
Maybe she wasn't even here when it happened. Chris and I were driving up when we heard the gunshot. The front door was locked, so we ran through the back and broke in through the kitchen window.
I saw that. I thought maybe Miley did it and Myra fired her. I didn't know then that Miley's mother was sick in Japan.
Please, let me and Ken do the talking. Please. So you broke in and rushed upstairs. Was he on the floor?
No, he was sitting in bed. The television was on. One of the evangelist shows, a bottle of Valium was on the night table. Here, he was barely conscious. So I figured maybe he took a couple of pills to make himself drowsy, put the gun to his head, started to fall asleep and then shot himself through the ear.
Did he say anything else?
No, not a word. He was barely conscious.
I'm not hearing this. This is not happening.
Did we call the police?
No, just the doctor. We told him he tripped down the stairs. I didn't want to make this thing public.
No. We have got to call the police. I mean, we're talking the deputy mayor of New York. The front page of the New York Times. Pictures of Charlie with a suit jacket over his head.
Exactly what I'm trying to avoid till I find out what happened.
But if we keep this quiet, we are all accessories. Oh God, why did you do this, Ken?
I hear a car pulling up.
If you're not calling the police, then I am.
Oh no, you're not.
Are you telling me what I'm not going to do?
Oh, they're pulling up our driveway.
Maybe the neighbors heard the gunshot that have called the police.
I'll deal with the problem when it arises.
Maybe the car is the police and the problem has already arisen.
It's a Volvo station wagon.
A Volvo.
Now you're worried it's the Swedish police.
It's Ernie and Cookie.
Ernie and Cookie.
Why didn't you say so?
Listen.
Ken, Myra and I are having trouble with the zipper.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
They know everything.
About Myra's zipper.
Everything.
We know Myra's not here. Ken already told us.
They're stopping to look at our BMW.
Oh, then why didn't you tell me so? They must think that I'm an idiot.
By the way, how is Charlie?
Oh, he fell asleep, hugging his pillow with his thumb in his mouth.
They're coming up to the house. I can't believe she's wearing a dress like that to a party like this.
Okay, what do we decide? What did we decide? Do we tell them or not?
Why not? Ernie is Charlie's analyst and everything you tell your analyst remains confidential.
Patients. What a patient tells his analyst. We are not his patients. His patient is up there, sucking his thumb.
I can't believe that I'm paying a babysitter for tonight.
So what did you decide? Do we call the police or not?
I say no. Cookie has a cooking show on television. She might say something accidentally on air.
What do you think? She gives out recipes for suicide?
I still think we say nothing till we find out what happened. Better safe than sorry. Claire, open the door.
Chris, get us some drinks. Let's look like we're having fun.
So what is it? We are telling Ernie but not telling Cookie.
We are not telling either one of them. I'm sorry we told you.
Claire, hold on. Maybe I can go upstairs and check with Charlie if he's awake now and I can get the story from him.
That's a great idea.
I took the Valium from him and hid it in the medicine cabinet.
Gee, what a good hiding place you chose, huh?
Mrs. Thatcher. Mrs. Thatcher says, I don't know. It must be in my umbrella stand. We are ready. Open the door.
Lenny, you are so funny. You ought to have been an actor, I swear.
Everybody, it's Ernie and Cookie.
Hi, Annie. Hi, Cookie.
Hi, Cookie. Hi, Ernie.
Hello, Chris. Hello, Lenny.
So, go on with the story. What did Mr. Gorbachev say to Mrs. Thatcher?
Mr. Gorbachev. He said, I don't know. I never ate cat food before.
Sorry, we are late. Did we miss much?
Oh, you've got to let Lenny tell you the story about Mrs. Thatcher and the cat.
That sounds funny already.
Everyone looks so beautiful.
Cookie, I'm crazy about your dress. You always pick up the most original things. Where do you find them?
Oh my god. This is 60-year-old. It's my grandmother's. I think she got it from Russia.
Oh, what a pretty cushion. Is that for Charlie and Myra?
No, it's for my back. It went out again while I was dressing.
You alright, honey?
I'm fine, oops. Oh, you and your back problem. It must be awful. No, I can do everything. Sit down and stand up.
Hey, Lenny, is that your BMW also? It looks like you put in a lot of miles on it in 2 days.
Oh, some stupid idiot comes out of his garage and blindsides me. The car's got 12 miles on it. I've got a case of whiplash you wouldn't believe.
Ooh, I've got whiplash. Excruciating. My friend once had it for 6 years. Oh, this looks nice. Who brought this? Oh my god! Did I break anything? What was it?
Painted glass.
Oh no! Claire, Lenny, I'm sorry.
It's an accident, honey. We'll replace it, of course.
Sure if you want, I don't care.
Oh, what do you want?
I'm right near the bar.
You are all going to get me a drink? You're such friendly people. I'd love a bourbon, please.
I should have let, what's her name? Mulu pick it up? Miley. Here you go, Art. Miss Ken.
Ken's with Charlie.
And Myra?
Myra's with Ken. They're waiting for
my back and goes. It's fine.
You alright, Poops?
I'm fine, puppy.
Hey, listen. I think it's a beautiful evening. Why don't we all sit outside?
Okay, you kids, what's going on here?
What do you mean?
You think I don't notice everyone's acting funny? 3 people want to get me a drink. Chris wants me to listen to this funny story. Then he wants all of us to get outside. Everyone's creating a diversion. Why?
No wonder you're such a high-priced doctor. Okay, everybody, we'll have to tell them the truth.
What truth?
The surprise.
What surprise?
The surprise about the party.
What's surprise about the party?
Well, I think it's the cutest thing. Don't you think so, Claire?
Yes, it is.
Okay, then tell them about it.
No, you tell it better than I do.
Oh, okay. Charlie and Myra thought since they're calling their closest friend to their 10th anniversary, they will not have any servants. No Miley, no anybody. Isn't that terrific? Just us.
Why is that terrific?
Because we are all going to pitch in. Just like old days. Before money, before success.
No! I hated those times. I love success.
But these are greedier times. Lazy, more selfish. Nobody wants to work.
Huh? I work 14 hours a day. I cook 37 meals a week. I cook for my television show, I cook for my family, I cook for my neighbors, I cook for my kids, I cook for my dog. I was really looking forward to a relaxed evening. But I don't want to spoil the fun. What do we have to do?
We have to cook.
You mean all of us together in the kitchen?
Everybody except Charlie and Myra. Claire and I told them to stay upstairs. We'll call them once dinner is ready.
And why are we all wearing our best dress to cook dinner?
That's not your best clothes. It's a 50-year-old Polish.
A 60-year-old Russian dress?
Oh, the dress is hardly an issue worth arguing about.
I never said I wouldn't cook.
She never said we wouldn't cook it. Why is everyone getting so worked up about this?
Listen, I don't want to take the blame of ruining this party for Charlie and Myra. I'll do all the cooking and Ernie will do the serving.
Honey, no one's asking you to do that.
If she wants to do it, let her. Sure. Why not? Fine with us.
And if it makes her happy, she can clean up too.
So it is fine. It'll be 45 minutes and I promise you the best dinner party we've all ever had.
Oh my God!
What the hell was
Give
that?
me a break.
Take it easy, it's fine, it's all under control. Hi Ernie, hi Cookie, Chris honey, could I see you up here for a minute?
Everybody, please excuse me for a moment. Okay, this when it happens.
Am I crazy or was that a gunshot?
Oh, no, not a gunshot. I think it was a car backfiring.
In Charlie's bedroom.
No. Chris, Ken, Charlie, Myra are all up there. There's more of them than us.
But you can't ignore a gunshot. Ernie, please go and see.
I know exactly what it was. It was a balloon. They've been blowing up party balloons up there all day.
What kind of a balloon was that? A goodie blimp? I'm going up.
No. Then what do we do about the dinner? Charlie and Myra must be starved. You and Cookie go into the kitchen
Yes? My husband called. Yes.
Who's on the phone?
Dr. Dudley's service.
Oh my God, what the hell is that?
Oh, Charlie, I do this all the time. You take the pressure off my back.
Is it your back again?
No, little shirt pins on the floor.
She must be such fun to live with.
So what happened upstairs? Is Charlie all right?
He's sleeping. Ken wanted to hide Charlie's gun in the closet, but he tripped over Charlie's slippers and the gun went off right next to his head. He can't hear a thing in both ears.
Where's not Charlie?
Ken! Charlie's out cold with Valium.
They hung up. I already took the message.
Why didn't you tell me this while I was running down the stairs? What did they say?
They said Dr. Dudley already called this number and that he doesn't want to be disturbed out of the theater again.
I have got to change my doctor. I cannot trust my life in the hands of a bloody drama critic. Hello, this is Leonard Gans again. Dr. Dudley did not call this number. Please have him call me back. It's important.
Oh, so what did Ken want Chris upstairs for?
Oh, he wanted her to call Ken's doctor to know what to do for his ears. He wouldn't be able to hear, right? I've got to get back upstairs.
You mean she told about the gunshots and she had to explain about Charlie?
No, she was going to say that Ken was outside and the manhole cover blew up next to him.
That's a good idea.
Except the doctor wasn't in. He was in some kind of a theater. There must be a flu going around in Broadway. Oh, they purposely wait for me to get onto the stairs. Answer that phone.
Oh, Dr. Dudley, thanks for calling back. Do you want to speak to him?
No, I'm taking a stress test here. Hello. Oh, Dr. Dudley. Oh, thank you. Thank you for calling back. Oh, some idiot nailed me in my BMW about 20 minutes ago. I've got a little whiplash. Who? Charlie. Charlie Brock? No, I wasn't calling about Charlie. He's Charlie's doctor too. No. Charlie's resting. He's fine. He's taking rest. Chris Gorman? You know Ken and Chris? He's Ken's doctor too.
Maybe he has a franchise.
Will you make yourself busy? Put on some music. Sorry, doctor, sorry. A cold compress for the whiplash. Oh, yes, that's a good idea. I'll try that. Let me connect you to Chris. What is the extension to Charlie's room?
Why? Who's going to hear it up there?
Claire, sometimes you're such a pain in the ass. Yes, doctor. What? My wife? Oh, she has a pain too, that's no bother. Just hold on for Chris. Hold on. We owe this guy a gift. I know. Let's give him Cookie as a patient.
I think I heard Lenny in here.
How's Cookie?
Oh, not well. I gave her some aspirins for a bag. She dropped them in the sauce.
Oh, great! Then we'll all get rid of all our headaches.
Did Lenny say what sound was that?
The gunshot?
It was a gunshot.
No, I was referring to the sound you thought was a gunshot.
It wasn't a balloon, I know that.
No, it was a can of shaving cream. It exploded.
Shaving cream exploded.
It's all right. Wash is off.
This is unbelievable.
Honey, could you please throw the garbage?
Coming, honey.
It will clear up in a minute. These things don't last long.
You think this will last long?
Oh, you go into the guest bedroom and take some rest.
Maybe I should go to the guest bedroom and take some rest.
Right.
So what did the doctor say to Chris?
He referred her to another doctor. He's not feeling well himself. Claire, my neck is starting to kill me. Can you make me a spritzer?
Your sister is here.
No, my spritzer! Come on, Ken, I'll put more towels on your ears.
Don't tell your sister about Charlie.
All
We can
right,
find
all right.
out what happened.
Everything is just fine.
It's all right. They're in the kitchen.
Oh, thank God. I would smoke a Havana cigar if I had one. I think I'm getting hives under my arms. Did you hear what happened to Ken? He's deaf.
He's better off. He's out of this thing now.
I don't know why we are protecting Charlie and Myra in this way. Ken is deaf, Lenny can't turn his neck, Cookie is walking around like a giraffe, and I am getting a blood condition for what? One more gunshot and the entire world will know about this.
The whole world isn't interested, honey. Paraguay and Bolivia don't give a rat's ass.
There's another car pulling up. Was someone else invited?
Harry and Joan, but they cancelled. They said they're going to Venezuela, but they'll call tonight.
From Venezuela.
Jeez, maybe they will hear about it in Bolivia.
So who's coming up the driveway then?
Maybe it's Myra.
Myra drives a Porsche. This is an Audi.
Ask Ken. He might know.
Ken is reading lips right now. I don't think he can pick up on Audi. Jesus, what the hell was that?
Cookie must have blown up the microwave. What else?
Chris, go inside and see what's happening. Then go to the window and see who's coming. I've got to see how Ken is doing. My God, I feel him at the freaking Alamo.
Damn, I burned my fingers. It's hard.
What happened?
Son of a gun, this hurts.
Are you okay?
Oh dear.
Cookie dropped the rice bag and slipped against the stuff. The hot platter was about to fall on her, so I lifted it, then I dropped it on the table. The water pitcher broke in the glass, shattered on her arm. She's bleeding like hell. I've got a dish towel on her fridge and propped her up against the cabinet, but I need some bandages for my hands and ointments for my fingers. I've never seen anything happen so fast.
I can't believe he's in pain and he said all of that without missing a word.
Lenny, why are you still standing there? Go get the bandages.
What? I thought there was more to this story.
I'm sorry, sir. Did you ask for a drink?
It's okay, you have other things to worry about.
You're right.
You know what this night is beginning to remind me of? Platoon. It's Glenn and Cassie.
Glenn and Cassie Cooper together?
That's how they're walking.
I thought they were having trouble.
Not walking.
You know, Ken is running for the state senate of Poughkeepsie.
So?
Oh, that's all he needs, is to walk into this house and be part of our hush-up suicide attempt. Huh. He can kiss his career goodbye.
Maybe Ken will figure all this out before they ring the doorbell. Oh, it's going to be a tough campaign.
Listen, I'll have to go to the bathroom. I will be back in a
Wait
minute.
a minute. I haven't gone to the bathroom myself.
Yes, you did in Miley's room.
Yes, but don't miss the door then.
To hell with it, somebody else will answer the door. Come on!
Lenny, did you get the bandages? Nobody getting the door. These kids are up to something, I know it. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, I don't know where everybody is.
You mean we are the first?
No, everyone's here. They are just spread out a little.
Good evening. Double scotch straight up.
Better but lying no ice.
Sure, fine. I don't believe we have met. I'm earning you, sir.
Hello, Annie.
Excuse my hands. Little accident in the kitchen.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, I would stay and chat, but my wife's bleeding in the kitchen.
Your wife?
Cookie, a water pitcher broke. She cut her arm and I burned my fingers.
That's so shameful.
Oh, nothing to worry about. We'll have dinner ready soon. Nice meeting you both.
I wonder why they're not using the Chinese girl.
Do I look alright?
Oh, fine.
I feel so frumpy.
Oh God, no, you look beautiful.
My hair isn't right, is it? I saw you looking at it in the car.
No, I wasn't looking at it.
Then what were you looking at?
The road, I suppose.
I can always tell when you hate what I'm wearing.
I've always loved the dress you're wearing.
But this is the first time that I've worn it.
I've admired your taste is what I meant.
God, it's so hard to please you sometimes.
What did I say?
It's what you don't say that really drives me crazy.
What I don't say? How will it drive you crazy if I don't say something?
I don't know. It's just the looks that you give me.
I don't give any looks.
But you look at me all the time.
Because you always ask me to look at you.
If I didn't have to ask you to look at me, wouldn't it?
It would be nice if you didn't want me to look at you always, which would make it unnecessary for you to ask me always, right?
God, I can't ever get any support from you. You've got all the time in the world for everyone and everything, but I've got to draw blood to get your attention when I walk in a room.
We walked in together, Cassie. We are already 45 minutes late. Now let's not ruin this party for Charlie and Myra.
You're 45 minutes late because you scouted every dress that I tried on.
I did not scowl, I smiled. You always think that my scowl looks like a smile, my grin looks like a frown, and my frown looks like a yawn.
Don't sneer at me.
It was not a sneer, it was a peeve.
God, this conversation is so banal. I can't believe any of the things you're saying. We sound like some freaking TV couple.
Oh, now we are getting into language, right?
No, Mr. Perfect. I will not get into any language. I don't want to risk a scowl, a yawn, a frown, a peeve, or a sneer. God forbid, I should show human imperfection. I'd wake up with divorce papers in my hand.
Where does this come from, Cassie? Cassie, I don't look at you sometimes because I'm afraid that you don't like the way I look at you.
I don't know what the hell you want from me, Glenn. I really don't.
I don't want anything from you. I mean, I want it to be the way it was before than the way it is now.
God, you suffocate me sometimes. I want to go home.
Go home. We have just come in and we have not even seen anyone.
I don't know how I'm going to get through this night. They all know what's going on. They are your friends. Jesus, and you expect me to behave like nothing's happening?
Nothing is happening. What are you talking about?
Don't you freaking lie to me. The whole goddamn city knows about you and your cheap little chippy bimbo.
Will you keep it down? Nothing is happening. I hardly know the woman. She's just a member of fundraising committee. I have met her and her husband at 2 cocktail parties for God's sake.
2 cocktail parties?
Yes, only 2 cocktail parties.
You think I'm stupid?
No.
You think I'm blind?
No.
You think I don't know what's been going on?
Yes, because you don't.
I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Glenn Cooper. Are you listening?
Can't you see my ears perking up?
I have known about you and Karen Newman for about a year now.
Amazing. Since I know that woman only for 4 months now. No, I am asking you to keep it down. The butler must be listening to everything.
Care about a butler and a bleeding cook? My friends know about your bimbo. What do I care about domestic health?
What's gotten into you, Cassie? Are you bothered about my political ambitions? Or are you somehow threatened because I am running for the state senate?
State Senate, State Senate. Don't make it sound like we're going to Washington. We're going to Albany. 23 degrees below zero in the middle of winter Albany. You're not Times Man of the Year yet. You understand, honey?
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
What was that?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Like I'm the Shoreditch wife who's behaving badly, right? I'm giving you such a hard time. I'll tell you something, Mr. State Senator. Everybody knows about you. People are talking to you. Don't trust me.
People are talking. You didn't tell anyone anything to anyone, right?
Is that what you're worried about? Your reputation, your career, your place in American history? You know what your place in American history will be? A commemorative stamp of you and your bimbo in a motel together.
Cassie, you're so out of control tonight. Wait a minute. Are you rubbing those quartz crystals again? I told you to throw them away. They're so dangerous. They're like petrified cocaine. Don't take it out. It'll make you crazy. Don't rub it in the party. Please put it away. Don't let my friends see what you're doing.
Fine. Then don't let my friends see what you are doing.
It's Glenn and Cassie. I thought I heard you. How are you doing?
I'm feeling better, thanks.
Not you, Glenn. It's Glenn and Cassie.
Hi, Len. We are doing just fine.
Hi, Glenn.
Leonard.
Where's Listen, Glenn?
Did somebody come in?
I told you it's Glenn and Cassie. Glenn and Cassie. It's Ken. He has a bad cold. His ears are stopped up. Who let you in?
The butler.
The butler's here.
Yeah, he's getting us drinks.
Is he alone?
No, he's with his wife, the cook.
Miley. Oh, thank God she came back. We didn't have any help here for a while.
Oh, really? Where's Charlie and Myra?
They're in the room, I guess.
My towel fell off. Lenny!
Oh, I'm going to get your dance, Ken. I've got to get some freaking bandages first. Excuse me, yes. I've got to get some bandages. Be right back. Charlie, Myra, is it all right if I come in? Sure, come on in.
Lenny!
Hi, Ken. I hear you have a cold.
You think I look old? I haven't been sleeping well lately. Hi, Cassie. Do the others know you're here?
Yes, we just met Len.
Have you seen Lenny?
Oh, he went into Charlie's room.
I'm sorry, I can't hear a thing. A manhole cover blew next to my ear.
That's terrible.
I said a manhole cover blew next to my ear. Yes, I can hear you. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, anyone getting you a drink?
Yes, the butler.
I'm sorry, there is no help here. They have gone to the Orient somewhere.
I think he's got dirty.
Ah, yes, a hot toddy will be fine. Maybe I'll go see if Lenny's in Charlie's room. We'll be right back. Myra, mind if I come in?
Sure, honey. Come on
Well, I'm off.
Where are you going now?
To rinse off my crystal. I suppose you'd like to make a quick phone call while I'm gone, huh? Who's in there?
Who is this?
Cassie, who's that?
It's Chris. Just a second, Cass. Oh, I didn't hear you coming, Cass. I would have opened the door. Hi, Glenn.
Hi. Listen, is anything going on here?
Why? Whom did you see?
Well, Len and Ken just for a minute, and then the butler and his wife Miley.
The butler and Miley, they're here. My God, I must have been there for a long time.
Chris, you left the bathroom door locked. Who is it? Cassie, who's that? Oh, it's me, Claire. Just a minute. Hi, Claire. Hi, Glenn. Where are the boys?
They're up with Charlie and Myra. Myra sounded very excited.
You spoke to Myra.
No. I just heard her speak to Ken and Len.
I'd love to have a copy of that conversation. Listen, the butler and Miley are here. You're kidding. Where's Ernie and Cookie?
Ernie, I just met Ernie. Isn't he the butler?
Oh, no. Oh, okay. We have got that one cleared up now.
And they aren't back from the Orient.
I believe so. You are so well informed.
Okay. What's up in Charlie's room?
They're all watching a show on the television.
Very good, Chris.
Well. This is beginning to look like a party, finally.
What were you all watching up there?
Oh, well.
On TV?
The show you all went up to watch.
Oh, that show! That PBS special on, what's his name? What's his name?
Hitler.
Hitler. That's what we were watching, a program on Hitler.
On their 10th wedding anniversary, you were watching a special on Hitler?
Oh no! Adolf as a boy. A whole new stand on him.
Dinner's coming along. Double Scotch straight up.
Thank you.
Lenny, did you get the bandages?
Oh, yes, Oh no, sorry, I forgot. I left them on Hitler. I went to the television. I'll be right back.
Listen, I'm sorry I mistook you for the butler.
Oh, I kind of thought you did. No, I'm an analyst.
Oh, for Pete's sakes! I'm Glenn. How's your wife doing?
The spaghetti is still boiling, but the duck is still frozen.
No, I meant her arm.
Oh, not bad. She's a trooper, you see. But her fingers are cramping up a little.
Oh, then she ought to see a doctor. There is one 10 minutes away. Dr. Dudley.
We called him. He's busy.
You've called about cookies, huh?
No, about Lenny's neck.
Lenny's neck.
And when he called back, we told him about Ken's ears.
Isn't that incredible? From a can of shaving cream exploding?
I thought it was a manhole cover.
It was the pressure from the manhole cover made the shaving can explode.
Oh, I've got them. I've got the bandages. Here you go, Ernie.
There is something really exciting happening around here.
Guess who Glenn's doctor is?
Man, I wish I did his taxes.
Wait a minute. Glenn Cooper? You're running for the state senate.
Well, yes.
I have a very good friend of mine who knows you very well.
Oh, really? Who is that?
Harold Green.
Harold Green?
Harold Green.
Harold Green. I know him. We went to University of Pennsylvania together. It's been a long time we have met. What's he doing now?
He's a proxy new member at our club.
Oh, at your tennis club.
Ernie, Cookie,
Oh,
emergency.
Janet. Here's your wife's period plan.
Thank you.
What of the butler?
Somebody! I need a drink real bad!
Oh, how's your ears, Ken?
Yes, a beer would be fine, thanks!
Lenny, did you find any eardrops in Charlie's cabinet? Medicine cabinet?
No, I didn't think of that.
Oh, then I'll go up and look.
No! I remembered I looked. There weren't any. I forgot.
Is there a cat in here?
A cat!
I just heard a cat meow. There it goes again.
Oh, it's the phone, Ken.
Why would a cat want to born? It's a cat, not a dog.
I get it. Hello? Hello? Who? Sorry, operator, we have a bad connection. Who is this? Oh, yes. It's Harry and Joan from Venezuela. They're calling for Charlie and Myra.
This is going to be good.
Oh, is it Joan from Venezuela? It's Cassie's cousin. I'm sure she must be like to talk to Cassie.
Yes. Hello, Johnny. This is Lenny. Oh, yes. We are all here. We are all having a great time.
Cassie, it's
Yes,
your cousin
yes.
Joan from Venezuela. Don't you want to talk to her?
Charlie and Myra? Of course they're here. What did you think? They're not here. You want to talk to them? Just a second. Hold on, please. Claire, come and talk to her.
Me? She wants to talk to Charlie and Myra.
Will you come and talk to her?
Cassie, are you alright?
Hi, Joanne, sweetheart. No, it's me, Claire. Yes, a terrific party. Myra, she looks beautiful. She's wearing the red kimono that Miley's mother sent it to us. Wait, I'll let can talk to her about it. Chris, come talk to her.
Please don't give the phone to me. I'll drive your kids to school for the next 1 year.
I'm not the Red Cross. I've done my part.
Cassie, are you alright? It's your cousin John. Wouldn't you want to talk to her?
Hi, John. How are you, sweetheart? Yes, you sent a gift, a painted glass. Well, I think it's broken. Wait, I'll let Myra speak to you about it. Who didn't speak to her yet?
Ken did speak to her.
Ken, you want to speak to John?
What?
John, you want to speak to John?
Sorry, I want to go home.
Hello, John. I can't hear you. The connection is bad. I think I'm losing you.
Cassie, we are losing out on the connection. Wouldn't you want to come and speak to your cousin?
It's Tintin, everyone.
Who did that? Who banged on the door?
It was me. It was your cousin John on the phone.
You scared the life out of me. I dropped my crystal down the toilet. A 2 million-year-old crystal.
Oh, I can't take this anymore. Here, take the phone. You can't hear anything anyways. What's that difference?
Don't just stand there, idiot. Go get my crystal.
Oh,
Hello?
Cassie, will you pull it off now, please?
Hello.
I'll go get Myra and Charlie.
No. I am going to get Myra and Charlie. I am going. Myra, Charlie. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, it's gone. It's permanent this time.
Hello.
It's a sin to lose a crystal. It's like killing your own dog.
Oh, shucks.
Hello. What was that?
It was you, Ken. Your folks scraping the plate.
My what?
Your phone scraping your plate.
You're fading our blame.
It was not me, Ken. It was Chris.
I can make out voices now. Just a little here and there.
Do you think I can have a cigarette?
No cigarettes.
Really can't get over it. The story is so hard to believe.
He finds the story hard to believe.
Myra is gone.
We acted our asses off to keep the truth from you.
Myra is gone.
Right.
The servants are gone.
Right.
Charlie shot himself in his earlobe.
Right.
All this doesn't make sense at all.
Right.
Why didn't I see it? People running up and down the stairs. Nobody answering the door. Cans of shaving cream exploding. I am on the staff of Bellevue Hospital, guys. How could I believe such a story? And you never let down, Chris.
Listen, I was so desperate for a smoke. I went into Charlie's bathroom and tried to light up a Q-tip.
Don't you have any self-control?
Of course I had. I smoked only half. Something's wrong with Ken.
Maybe he's still hungry. Do you want seconds, Kenny?
No, he wants to say something. What is it, Ken?
The pressure is killing me. I can't handle these guys. Sorry, Cookie. Myra is not there. The servant is not here. Charlie is up there. He shot himself through the earlobe. Maybe it was attempted suicide. Maybe it wasn't. I don't care. I don't know. I'm just so glad it's over with.
It's all right, Ken. We know. Lenny
You-
told us.
You know?
Yes,
Who told you?
Lenny.
Glenn, you told them?
No, it's Lenny. Lenny told us.
I wish he was deaf again.
Is it true, Lenny? You told them?
Oh, finish your goddamn dinner and leave us alone, will you?
Take it easy, Lenny. He has been under a lot of strain today.
And I haven't. I was acting my goddamn head off that Myra was here. I had actual conversations with her up there. I even did her voice in case one of you was listening.
It was you. You could have fooled me.
I did.
So you really weren't watching Hitler on PBS?
No. We dropped everything to watch the rise and fall of Adolf Hitler. I don't believe you people.
You sounded so real. I believed it.
What about you, Mrs. Cooper? What's her name?
Cassie.
What about you, Cassie? Did you think something strange was going on?
Yes, for about 6 months now.
What do you mean? What does she do?
Too much forgive her. She's still upset about losing her crystals.
Call a plumber. They take out everything. Wedding rings, car keys. My aunt once lost her dentures down there. I took them out.
And she wore them.
Of course you clean them.
They could be blessed by the Pope. I wouldn't put them in my mouth again.
Well, you wouldn't know unless you were into crystals. Apparently, they have very special properties. They have to be rinsed under clear spring water and dried under direct sunlight. Cassie scrubs them every night with a toothbrush. They should not be dried in a towel. They have to be patted with a soft leathery cloth. They are very delicate.
Have you enrolled them in a good school yet?
Crystals work for her. If they give her a sense of comfort and pleasure, what's wrong with it?
You don't have to defend me, Ernie. Crystals will be here millions and millions of years after this planet is gone.
But if the planet is gone, don't the crystals go with it?
I don't know. There is a big crystal chandelier in the dining room. Do you think I should mention this to her?
Oh, thanks, Grace, but no, please leave her alone now.
I'm not deaf, you know. Maybe Ken can't hear, but I still can.
I can open the toilet. I've done that before.
This is not a place or time to fix toilets.
Yes, perhaps another time in another place.
Hey, bleeding arm and all. That was one hell of a meal. Cookie, my hat's off to you. I loved the duck.
The duck was so delicious.
Really.
Really crispy.
And the pasta especially was very
Very
good.
nice.
How long did you boil it?
Doesn't anybody? Doesn't anybody?
What is it, Ken, now? Doesn't anybody want?
Doesn't anybody want to go upstairs and see if Charlie is still alive? It would hasn't it?
How do you know?
What?
He's right. We have all been so busy eating and explaining that we forgot all about Charlie.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
All right, I'll go up and settle this.
No, wait! We are all in a precarious situation. It's not only Charlie, but a lot of other people's future depend on how we deal.
Meaning you?
Well, no. I and Cassie were the last ones to arrive. We just heard the story. We are hardly involved.
And Ernie and I were cooking all the while. Nobody told us. Sorry.
Hey, I wanted to call the police. Ken wouldn't let me call the police. Claire, did I want to call the police?
Yes.
Lenny wanted to call the police.
So, what are you all implying? It's Ken's responsibility. He takes a rap for all this.
No, he didn't say that.
Nobody said that.
I didn't hear anybody say that. Nobody is accusing anybody of anything.
What we are saying is, if it comes down to it, he's the most logical. That's all.
I can't believe you guys. Ken went deaf trying to protect Charlie and everybody else here. I expected a little bit more from his friends. You bunch of whips! Ken, darling, did you hear any of this?
Well, answer, Auckland. Have you?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
What is it now?
I lost my earring. My grandmother's earring.
Where did you lose that?
Right here. Right around here. Ah! Oh my god!
What?
Oh my god! Thank god! I had them in my hand. I took them out of the kitchen. I'm so sorry. So
Worried about your wife. Do you think she's alright?
Ah, she's alright. She always tries to get something to get back at me. I'm sure she'll find one. Oh, see, she has found one.
Please forgive me, everyone. I know I behaved badly tonight. No, I really did. And I apologize. Well, I've had a rough day today. And I'm just not here tonight.
That's okay. Neither are Charlie and Myra.
That's funny, Lenny. That's truly funny. How do you think of something so funny?
I don't know. I just. Can I get up and get you a glass of wine?
Do I look like I need one? Who is she getting back at, Glenn? You or me?
Will you cut it out now?
What do you mean, sweetheart?
You know what I mean. Now push your heads back and behave.
Do you know what he's talking about, Len? I'm going to go get up Charlie's gun now.
Look, everyone here is a friend. Why don't you and I just go out on the terrace and have a nice quiet talk?
Honey, you do that and you're gonna have a bad person mind.
This is really incredible. I know what you're all thinking. Because the exact same thing happened to Glenn and me last week at a party for the Democratic Fundraising Committee. It was the nicest woman there.
Alright, Cassie, I think we are going now.
Excuse me, I must have eaten too quickly.
That was a little complaint.
I get it. Hello. Charlie! Yes, Charlie. We are all here. Len, Glenn, Ken, Ernie, Cookie, Chris, Claire, and Cassie.
Isn't that strange? That the names of all the women starts with the C?
Yes. I understand. No, it's perfectly reasonable. You do what you have to do. We'll be here. He needs more time to think.
More time to drink! He shouldn't drink with William! It's not drink, it's death!
What is it?
Oh my god! My ears just popped. I can hear now. Oh, it sounds like a subway in here.
This is remarkable. But I'm having the first headache I ever had in my life.
My pulse is a little up, but it's okay.
Can I take it, Ken?
Oh.
Really good at things like that.
Cassie, I'm warning you. You will be at the same place when your sister are.
Don't threaten me, sweetheart, because I'll start naming names.
Well, that's it. I have to stay back, but I'm putting you in the taxi now.
Never mind, I'll walk.
What? 22 miles? Oh, Cassie, wait for me, please.
I feel badly for her because especially one day she'll grow old and die.
I thought of something else. Glenn went to bed.
Oh, sit on it, honey.
If I had you all in my group therapy, I would never need another group again.
Quiet! I can hear them.
Here, who?
Glenn and Cassie, I swear I can hear them talking.
The man is a German shepherd.
I don't think so. Business to listen, Ken.
If he can listen through walls, it's his business.
She's talking about a woman. She is very upset. She just kicked the BMW with her foot.
Sit the good side to my bed.
I have got it. I have figured it out. I know what she's going to say. Len, Ken, Glenn are all men.
No! Glenn Cooper. Glenn is the one Myra's having the affair with.
You think so?
Figure it out, honey. Myra's working real hard on Glenn's campaign. 2-3 nights a week. Late nights.
Of course, Charlie is not dumb and he puts 2 and 2 together. And then he confronts Myra with it. She confesses and Charlie kicks her out of the house and sends the servant home. And then he tries to blow his brains out.
You don't know that. That's an assumption on your part. That's a very, very dangerous statement to make. Don't you agree with me then?
No, why not? I don't feel like it.
We have to bring this thing to a head. I'm going to go up and speak to Charlie and find out what's what.
Wait a minute. Hold it. As far as Charlie is concerned, only Chris and I know about he shooting himself in the ear. Am I right?
Oh, right. He never said a word to me. He always had the pillow covering up his ear the whole time.
So what you're saying is that he doesn't know that we know anything?
Well, he has got to know that Myra isn't here and the servants are not here.
Exactly. But he doesn't know that the rest of you know about the gunshot.
Slowly, talk like we're children.
My point is, I told him we wouldn't tell anybody.
But then you went ahead and told everybody.
I only told you and Lenny. Lenny told everybody.
But you were deaf then. You didn't hear me telling everybody.
And then you went ahead and told everybody after Lenny told everybody.
Oh, speak fast again. It doesn't make any difference.
What I'm trying to say is, as long as Charlie doesn't think the rest of you know,
Why tell him now? I see your point, Ken. We have to keep up the subterfuge. If we confront him with everyone knowing about the gunshot, he will go to pieces. So until he himself tells his own story, we pretend that we don't know anything.
right? So I should be the one who goes up to him. I tell Charlie that everyone is here, and he asks me, "Does everyone know what happened?"
You say no.
I say no. Then he says, "Well, if I'm not down there and Myra's not down there and the help's not down there, what did you tell them?"
There's something wrong with Cassie. Oops!
Oops! What oops? She threw up in the car?
No! She hit Glenn. His nose is bleeding.
Tell me when he hits her back. I'd love to watch that.
Quiet, I can't hear myself think. What was I saying?
You said I should be the one who should go up and tell Charlie that everybody is here. Then Charlie asked, does everybody know what has happened? Ernie say, you say no. You say, I say no. Then Charlie asks him, I am not down there.
Alright.
Okay, I've got it. Here's what we do. Charlie is going to want to know what Ken told us. Ken tells Charlie that he told us that Charlie had a large benign wart removed from his ear this morning. But he's okay. Then suddenly Myra's mother broke her hip and she had to take her to the hospital and she's going to stay there tonight. The help, thinking the party was off, left the phone and went home. All of this happened so fast that they forgot to call us. We all arrived here, we understood the situation, and we decided to cook. That's the story.
I wouldn't believe her mother breaking her hip.
Why not?
She died 6 years ago. Can't you think of something else?
Something else? I thought of the mother, the part, the hip. Nothing satisfies you people.
There is no logic in this story. Nothing is plausible.
Plausible? We don't need plausible. The man is in a shock, mental anguish and emotional despair. Logic doesn't mean shit to him right now. The telephone!
Don't you think we know it's a telephone? We all have telephones. We are rich people here, honey.
Just calm down, everybody, please. Hello? Yes, he is. May I know who's calling? Oh, hold on a moment, please. It's a woman for Glenn.
So?
Sounds like Myra.
This is going to be interesting.
Should I go get him?
No, I don't know. Wait a minute. Glenn is outside just now. Can I tell him who's calling? Okay. Hold on. I can't tell. Maybe it is Myra, maybe it isn't.
What did she say when you asked who's calling?
She said just a friend.
How? How did she say it?
She said just a friend. How many ways are there to say it?
Oh, I'll tell you how many ways. Nervous, phony, sincere, drunk.
Scared, guilty, lying. Complex, disciple.
Ominous, anonymous.
This isn't Scrabble, for God's sake!
Let me talk.
She didn't ask me.
She didn't ask for you either. I know Myra's voice. Give me the phone. Hello? No. It's Glenn's friend, Len. No, not Ken. Ken is getting Glenn. You sound awfully familiar. Do I know you? Okay. Okay, wait. Okay. Well, hold on, please. I don't think it's her.
What do you think it sounds like?
Meryl Streep.
Why did she call you?
I didn't say it was Meryl Streep, but you know how she sounds in the movies. Like she plays the character perfectly, but it's not really her. That's how she sounds like.
Like she's not Meryl Streep.
Now we are playing Trivial Pursuit. This isn't a game show, guys! Ken, will you please get Glenn? Somebody went to get Glenn. Hello? Hello? She hung up. She must have gotten suspicious.
I can hear something.
I bet it's the Concorde landing in London.
It's a car coming up the driveway.
Who is it? Who would it be?
Maybe it's Myra.
Maybe it's Harry and John from Venezuela.
No, we are in trouble.
What happened?
What is it? It's the police. The police car.
Okay. I warned you. I told you we should have called the police. Now look what happened. The police is here.
Who could have called the police?
Maybe it was Myra. Maybe it was Charlie.
Maybe it was Cassie. You were fighting with her outside. Did she use the phone in my car?
Yes, but not the call. Don't hit my nose!
She broke my phone. My brand new phone in my brand new car.
Oh, just calm down, everybody. We have to figure out what to say when they come in.
They tried to talk to Cassie. She won't roll down the window.
My windows. They are going to bust open my windows. I'm going to take my car home in a bloody envelope.
Then why did you leave her outside? She's in no condition to answer police questions.
She is in a good enough condition to smash my nose.
Oh, God, there is blood on my shirt!
This person is running for the state senate. I wouldn't even let you run for Chinese food.
Oh, shut up, you guys! I have a 6-year-old child who makes more sense than all of us.
Then let him come here.
Wait, Lenny, hold on. She's been doing her share. She's the one who called Dr. Dudley.
Everybody call Dr. Dudley. He's in the yellow pages in freaking China.
Maybe Dudley called the police.
The telephone again.
Get twice in a row. This genius is going to save our lives.
Yes, he. Hold on a moment, please. Glenn, it's for you. It's the same woman who called before. What same woman?
She wouldn't say. Oh, maybe it was Myra, maybe it was Meryl Streep.
Two policemen are coming down the driveway and you are giving him a resume of the party.
Hello? They are coming now. Oh my God. They're on their way.
Oh, hi. Oh, no, it's not a cold. It's a telephone injury.
The one thing we can't do is let them see Charlie. We can't let Charlie downstairs or them upstairs, okay?
I tried to talk to Cassie. She is still very upset.
See, guys, above all, no false statements. we have to keep within the law. This above all. Agreed?
Oh, yeah. This above all. To thine own self be true, for within the hearts of better men, are you freaking crazy? They are outside the door.
Yeah, it would be great if you could talk to her. But I can't get Cassie out of the car right now.
But listen, what do we tell them about the gunshots? We have to decide what do we tell them.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I can. Wow.
Oh, kill him! Kill him! Don't give me that damn telephone.
Very serious. I can't hold my daughter any longer.
Okay, I've got it. We tell them we never heard the gunshots.
You mean lie to them?
And what happened to your this above all? No more statements.
That won't work tonight, maybe some other time.
Guys, if you let me go to the bathroom, I'll come back. I promise.
All right. Listen, I've got to go, okay? I'll call you back.
Let's leave this schmuck for the cops and run for our lives.
I'll call you later. Well, folks, what's going on?
Well, about 6 weeks ago, we got an invitation to this party in
Stop it! Everybody think, why didn't we hear the gunshots?
We're all deaf people. We meet only once a week, and that's why we didn't hear the doorbell.
Now we know why everyone calls her Cookie.
I have got it! We were all watching the Hitler show on television. The cannons were bombing Berlin. We didn't hear anything else.
There was no Hitler program. We made that shit up to fool this idiot.
Hey! That's not enough from you! We've got to open the door!
All right, Claire, open the door.
I can't. I'm in charge of the music.
Music! That's it!
What is it?
We were listening to music, it was so loud, we were dancing for it and we didn't hear the gunshots. Now, Claire, you switch on the music.
Wait! There's one last thing to do! What? Somebody has to be Charlie, just in case.
Just in case what?
Just in case the police want to speak to Charlie.
He's right. Charlie's in no condition to tell them the real story.
That's because no one has heard the real story yet.
Exactly! But whatever story the police hear has to be the one that will not get us in any trouble.
I have never seen a sinking ship empty so fast.
I completely agree with Ken. One of you three men has to be Charlie.
We three? When did you move to France?
Well, let's be honest, I didn't even hear the gunshots.
He didn't even hear the gunshots. Bang, bang! You bastard!
Against the law to impersonate another real person?
Yes, it is, but not if you do it well.
Are we talking about a major felony, guys? Do you want to spend 30 years in a maximum security prison wearing suits?
Alright guys, I got it! Here's how we do it. Come here. Oli, come here. All of us put out one finger or two finger. If three guys are the same and one guy is different, then that guy is Charlie. Got it?
Who the hell made you Don Corleone?
You have a better idea?
Yes, let the women wrestle for it.
Oh, come on.
Let's get over with it.
Okay guys.
Fine, fine.
1, 2, 3. 2 and 2. No good. Once more. 1, 2, 3. 2 and 2. No good. Once more. 1, 2, 3. Aha! Charlie!
They stuck together. No, I'm not Charlie. No, I swear to God, it was
That's happened to John Hopkins?
Lenny, now you go upstairs and don't come back until we call you.
No, I'm anxious to come back.
Okay guys.
Okay, kids, time apart. See you.
Let's do the music.
I beg your pardon. May I ask what you're doing here?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to burst the door open.
Then why didn't you ring first?
I did! 5 times!
5 times? We never heard it.
I guess the music was on so loud you couldn't hear anything.
Of course, the music.
That's why we didn't hear you.
That's why we didn't get any phone calls. We wouldn't hear them.
That's what it was! The music! so loud.
Now what seems to be the trouble, officer?
Well, just a sort of routine investigation, sir. My name is Officer Wells, and this is Officer Putney. Is this your house, sir?
My house? No. I live elsewhere other than here.
As I do live elsewhere, could you tell us what this is all about, officer?
Yes, what is this about? Is anything wrong? Why are the police here? I can't imagine what's going on.
All right, calm down. Take it easy. I just have a few questions to ask. I wanted to know who the owner of the house is.
We'd be delighted to tell you, officer, but I believe it's customary first for you to inform us why these questions are being asked of us.
You are a lawyer, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Well, as a lawyer, you understand you are not obligated to answer these questions. But I was hoping someone here would be cooperative enough to give me the owner's name.
Brock, Charles Brock.
So, where is Mr. Brock?
I think he's gone out. Chris, is Charlie home?
No, I don't think so. He must have gone to walk his dog.
Then he should be back soon.
No, I don't think so. It's a Dachshund. They take very small steps.
He's home. He came back, officer.
So, could I meet Mr. Brock for a moment?
We'd be delighted to tell you, but this is an awkward time, as you can see.
Yes, I noticed. And what's the occasion?
The 10th wedding anniversary of Charlie and Myra Brock.
I won't take too long, sir. I just need a minute of his time.
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Brock is sleeping.
Sleeping in the middle of the anniversary party.
He was feeling depressed. He took a sleeping pill.
Could I meet Mrs. Brock then?
Mrs. Brock, she's not here.
She's not.
And that's why Mr. Brock is depressed.
Where is she?
Oh, it had to do with hospitals and wards and hips. It's very complicated.
You, sir? Something else. Yes, sir. What's your name?
My name?
Yes, sir. Your name.
See, I was trying to put some eye drops, all the cap fell on, and almost all the bottle went in. I can't see you right now, so I can't tell my name.
The drop didn't go into your mouth.
Officer, I believe you're being unnecessarily abusive to these people. If you're going to ask any more questions, you have to tell us what this is all about.
Yes, sir. I will. May I know who owns the BMW outside?
It's my husband's car.
What's his name?
You didn't answer that, Claire.
Leonard Guns.
So where is Mr. Gant?
I object!
Sir, this is not a court. I am not a judge. See, I don't carry a gavel. I just need to know where the man is.
Sure, officer. But we won't tell you until you tell us what this is all about.
I don't understand why I always have problems with this neighborhood. Okay. Sir, approximately at 8:15 tonight, there was an auto accident occurred. A brand new Porsche smashed with the brand new BMW. Now we know it's not the BMW's fault because the Porsche was a stolen car. Stolen right at 8:15 at the dealer's lot. The man on the Porsche got away. Now do you know who owned the brand new Porsche?
How would I know?
It belonged to Deputy Mayor Charles and Brown. It was a gift by his wife Myra. A surprise wedding anniversary gift.
Surprise hardly says it.
Oh, that's why you're here about the car accident.
Yes, sir. If Mr. Gans is here, I would like to talk to him. If he is not, the police department would like to know where he is.
Officer, could you both step outside for one moment?
Why?
Mrs. Gans is my client. I would like to consult with her before any further questioning. It's within my rights.
One moment. That's all you get.
All right. All right, guys. We need to choose a Lenny now. We need to choose a Lenny now.
What do you mean?
I mean, that guy is here to ask only about the car. He doesn't know anything about the gunshot. But we can't allow him to speak to Lenny because we need Lenny to be Charlie just in case he wants to ask about the new car. And we can't allow him to talk to Charlie because Charlie has a bullet hole in his ear.
Do you understand him in real life?
Well, we don't speak so much in real life.
Okay, guys. Glenn, Lenny, we need to choose again.
Leave me alone with this stupid game.
I know it's a stupid game, but we need to choose a Lenny.
Oh, leave it. We girls will do it this time. Come on, girls. The odd woman's husband is Lenny.
But my husband is Lenny.
No, Lenny is Charlie. You're playing for Glenn. Come on now, let's do it.
But I don't know how to play this game.
Oh, Cookie, just put out your fingers. We will do the counting. Come on. 1, 2, 3. Cookie, fingers. Put out your fingers.
I don't want to lose my earrings again.
Oh, Cookie, just 1 or 2 fingers, okay? Come on, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, shit. It's me. I'm so sorry, Ken.
It's all right. I'll be ready. Only open the door.
Glad to see you are not dancing again.
He's right here in this room. I am Leonard Gans.
You are Mr. Gans. How come it took you a whole minute to think of your name?
Never rush your answers. Harvard Law School.
Never trust someone who doesn't know if he's here or not. Police Academy. Who are you, man?
I am his wife's best friend, her, Mrs. Gans.
Are you here alone, man?
No, I'm with my husband, Mr. Gorman.
Where's Mr. Governor?
Must have gone home early.
Not much of a party, is there?
Well, it had its ups and downs.
All right, Mr. Gans. Could you please tell us about the accident in full and complete detail?
Officer, could you step outside for one more moment?
I am not going. Nowhere, no place, no time. This is it. This is where I will not go until I get what I came for. Even if my family has to move in.
10:47 Patni. They said they've already apprehended the suspect near Jersey Tunnel and call it a night.
That nice to meet you, my love.
Isn't
Central
wonderful?
Terrific! I am so happy.
Sorry to disturb you, folks.
It's okay. No problem. We understand.
Mr. Gans, there will be some further more questioning to you tomorrow.
It's okay.
Our pleasure. Anytime, officer.
You, I've seen you somewhere before. What's your name again?
Glenn Cooper.
Were you on TV before?
As a matter of fact, yes, I'm running for the state senate.
Oh yes, I remember. I saw you doing an interview on PBS. Why were you so afraid to give me a name?
Well, you know, as politicians, we wouldn't want to get mixed up in these situations.
You were not part of it, unless you witnessed the accident, did you?
No. I was not part of it. I came in last. I didn't even hear the gunshot.
What gunshot? I said what gunshots?
The gunshots which were fired when they were chasing the stolen car.
That was 12 miles away, Mr. Cooper. You were a 2020 hearing.
12:57 Peekskill Road. Neighbors reported 2 gunshots being fired from here tonight.
All right. 1257 Peekskill Road. We got a lot of problems here, don't we? Now, anybody want to tell us about the gunshots here?
No, we didn't hear any gunshot. The music was on so loud.
Nobody heard them except me. Who is the one sitting outside in the BMW?
My wife.
I would like to have a little talk with Mrs. Cooper. But me? Isn't it? Looks to be like you all had a fine dinner. You know who did that cooking?
I did.
What's her name?
Cookie.
I mean your real name.
That is my real name. I have 2 sisters named Cathy and Daffy. I swear.
See that blood on your shirt there?
Blood, I must have cut myself with a fork in dinner.
See that blood on your shirt?
I must have rubbed against Ken Abain Len when we were dancing.
Glenn. That's really clear.
It's just a coincidence.
I hope it is. My name is Ben. How are you already, Mrs. Cooper?
I'm not pressing any charges. My lawyer will handle this.
That was just an accident. My wife dropped a cigarette lighter on the leather seat. I wanted to take her out of the car, so I grabbed her leather jacket.
And how did you get that nasty blow on your nose?
She was hanging up the car phone in the dark and my head was too low.
My. There are a lot of cartoon humor here, don't we?
Ah!
What are you hurting to, man?
Oh, I have a chronic back spasm. It's very hard for me to sit, stand, or walk.
You didn't hear the gunshots either, I
No,
said.
I was dancing.
What? Dancing?
Dancing is good for my back.
And I think I was almost out the door with this one. Mrs. Gorman.
Is that me? Right, it's me, Mrs. Gorman.
And what you do?
I was helping with the drinks.
Your occupation.
Nothing. No, not nothing. I am a liar. I mean a lawyer. And I'm a mother too. 2 children. No, 1 boy, 1 child. I'm sorry, I'm very nervous.
You and everybody else. I want to tell you something that's really not part of my official party. But I won't believe one damn thing I heard in this room. I believe there were gunshots. Someone or everyone is trying to cover up something. A man gets hit in his nose. Another man stabs himself with a fork. The BMW gets smashed up. The horse takes the short-legged dog for a walk and goes to sleep. The hostess goes to the hospital. Nobody had the gunshots because everybody is busy dancing, including a woman named Cookie. See, dog stand. Listen, I am a real cop, you understand? Not somebody by name Elmer that your kids watch on Disney Channel. But first, I would like to know where Mr. Brock is. I would like to understand what the hell is happening here. Mister, I will give you 5 seconds now. Go up and bring him down here. Or I will take 2 seconds to climb upstairs. Don't mess with me now. I'm so close to a promotion and I can smell it. I climb upstairs or do we start mumbling?
No, wait, just wait. Please, for a minute. Please, don't go. Arnie, I mean, Len, isn't it the right time to call Charlie down?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Hello? Charlie, it's Ernie here. Yeah, we are ready for you now. Are you ready for us now? Oh, relax, Charlie. It's just a hysteric nerve reaction.
What's wrong with him?
He thinks he has temporarily gone blind. Just put some cold water on your eyes and come down. There are 2 police officers who want to speak to you. Why? Because you put out a finger. Come down, will you? He's fine. He's coming down.
Okay, officer. We were trying to protect Mr. Brock because he was our dear friend. But we also know that we will be in trouble if we hold back the truth. There were 2 gunshots here tonight, which I didn't hear personally. Nevertheless, I would share the blame with all others who heard it and did not come forth with the information. Despite of the fact that...
Stop helping so much, Glenn!
Nevertheless, Mr. Brock will come down now and tell us the whole story which none of us have heard. About the missing wife, about the missing servant, and the 2 gunshots which I didn't hear.
I think I'm getting another spasm.
Oh, who cares a damn?
Oh, hi, Glenn. Oh, that's my name. Hi, Charlie.
Charlie, hi Charlie.
Are you alright, Charlie?
This is Officer Wills. All right, Mr. Brock. Could you please tell us exactly what happened tonight?
Does anybody want a lemon?
Yes!
That would be wonderful.
Not no, ma'am. Brock, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. The story as it happened, as I remember it, as I am telling it. Dear God. Well, here goes. At exactly 6 o'clock tonight, I came home from work. My wife Myra was in her dressing room getting dressed for the party. I went to the refrigerator and grabbed a bottle of champagne and headed upstairs. Rosita, the Spanish cook, was in the kitchen with Ramona, her Spanish sister, and Romero, her Spanish son. They were all cooking an Italian dinner. As I climbed up the stairs, I said to myself, it's my 10th wedding anniversary and I cannot believe I still love my wife so much. I tapped on the door. Tap, tap, tap. The door opens. I hand her a glass of champagne and I make a toast. To the most beautiful wife a man ever had for 10 years. She says, to the best man and the best 10 years a beautiful wife ever had. We drink. We kiss. We toast again. To the loveliest skin on the loveliest body that has never aged a day in 10 wonderful years. She toasts to the gentlest hands that ever stroked the loveliest skin that has never aged a day in 10 wonderful years. We drink, we kiss, we toast. We drink, we kiss, we toast. And then we make love. We lay there, spent, naked in each other's arms, complete in our heaven. It's 8 o'clock now, and outside it's grown dark. And suddenly there is a gentle knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. The door opens. a strange young man looks down at us with a knife in his hands. Myra screams, "Ah!" I jump out and run for the gun in my drawer. Myra grabs it out and shields herself with it. I rush back in with a pistol ready to save my wife's life. The strange young man says in Spanish, "Yo quito, se da hablo enchilada porque esa en quito minito?" But I don't speak Spanish, and I never saw Rosita San Romero before, and I didn't know the knife was to cut up the salad, and that he was asking, should they hit up the dinner now? So I aimed my gun at him. Myra screams and pulls my arm. No! Bang! The gun goes off and shoots me in my earlobe, and I'm bleeding all over Myra's new dress. Oh, God damn it! Oh, I'm bleeding all over Myra's new dress. What is happening? So Rosita San Romero runs downstairs to tell Rosita Ramona, and he says, "Mamacita, mira que pasa el hombre, ay, beco, ay, ay, el hombre que loco, que bang, bang." The crazy man took a shot at him. So Rosita, Ramona, and Romero leave in a huff. Suddenly, we hear something. It is the first guest. They've already come. Myra grabs the bathroom and runs downstairs to stop Rosita, Ramona, and Romero. Otherwise, we will have no dinner. But they have already driven off in their Alfa Romeo. Yes, Alfa Romeo. It is dark outside. I hear something. I look out and I feel somebody is trying to steal my beautiful old Mercedes. So I take another shot at them. Stop! Bang! Myra then runs down to the basement where we keep the old dresses. She's looking for the dress that she wore last year. But she cannot find the lights, trips down the stairs, and passes out in the dark. I run downstairs looking for Myra. Myra? Myra, where are you? I notice that the basement door is open, and I'm afraid the strange-looking kid is coming back. So I go to the basement and lock it up, not knowing that Myra's still down there. I then run upstairs. I have to take some aspirin. My earlobe is killing me from the hole in it. But the blood on my fingers gets in my eyes, and I take 4 Valium instead. I can hear the guests downstairs. I want to tell them to look for Myra. Look for Myra! Look for Myra, everyone! But suddenly, I cannot talk from the Valium that I have taken. So I start to write a note explaining what happened. But the note looks like gibberish. And I'm afraid they think it's a suicide note. They'll call the police. And my friend Glenn Cooper is coming. It will be very bad for his campaign to get mixed up with the suicide. So I take the note, tear it up, and throw it into the flush. It goes as they walk into my room. They're all yelling at me.